So last year we had many teams make jumps nobody thought they would make, like the Hawks, who had made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, the Knicks, who had made it their first playoff appearance since 2013, the Phoenix Suns, who made their first NBA Finals since the Charles Barkley days, and other teams as well that went downhill, like the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat. You know, there's always those teams that go downhill and there's always those teams that come out of nowhere. But here are some teams that will come out of nowhere this season, just like those teams from last year. Maybe not to the same type of degree, but you'll see that these teams are going to make a big improvement this season. Welcome back to the checkup where we talk hoops and hoops only, and you see the title, you know what we got to do. Let's get straight into it. My first team that came to mind for this video is the Indiana Pacers. Now this squad last season struggled to stay consistent and stay healthy, dealing with many injuries all season and fell out of the top 6, but stayed competitive enough to remain the 9 seed and end up in the play-in. Led by Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon, they played very inconsistent ball. Domantas Sabonis had a really good year and so did Brogdon. But the Pacers, I did put them in the same spot as last year for my predictions video at the 9 spot, but that doesn't mean they won't improve, because if they actually finish 9th in the East this year, I think it's basically just because the East got better. Because I think Indiana going into this year is going to have a similar squad, but a new head coach, so that dysfunction they had last season is basically gone. Rick Carlisle, who's a future Hall of Fame coach, is taking over in Indiana. He coached Dallas for over a decade, and now he's bringing that good energy to Indiana. The Pacers last year had no good coach, which was a big part of their inconsistent play. Now this year, I expect Indiana to finish from anywhere 44 wins to 48 wins, and can either be as low as a 9 seed, but as high as a 5 in my opinion, with this solid Pacer team if they stay healthy, because Domantas Sabonis is going to basically have another all-star campaign if he stays healthy. And I really like Brogdon and I like Caris LeVert going into this year. The next team that I also think will make an improvement is the Minnesota Timberwolves, who were already showing flashes late last season under basically new head coach Chris Finch. They won 16 games with Chris Finch taking over the team. They were 16-25. And you look at that and you say that's a bad record. But compared to the way they were playing before Chris Finch, it was bad. It was real bad. But another big part of that was them dealing with injuries. D'Angelo Russell being injured for a good portion of last season, but now he's back healthy. And when he came back, they also started playing way better. In a more positive light, they got big contributions from last year's number 1 pick, Anthony Edwards, who was the runner-up for Rookie of the Year. And they also got big-time numbers from their franchise big, Karl-Anthony Towns, who's probably going to put up around the same numbers this season. The questions about this team, like I said in my prediction video, is the depth and the health of this team, which is why they can very much still struggle, because they play in a tougher conference, and that's why I have them 12th in the West. But if health stays on their side, and one of those play-in projected teams fall off, or health kicks in and some team gets bad luck and Minnesota just happens to be there, don't be shocked if we see Minnesota playing an important game in April with this play-in format, because Minnesota has not been playing bad basketball since basically the late part of last season. And I just watched the preseason game they just played against New Orleans, and yeah, I know it's preseason, but you can tell there's a new vibe kicking into this team. But this is their last chance to get things going with Karl-Anthony Towns before I think the trade rumors really start to kick in. And now for the last team that I had to go with here is the Toronto Raptors, who just picked 4th in last year's draft, picking forward Scottie Barnes, who showed flashes of potential stardom in the Summer League. But besides that, Toronto is kind of slept on a little as a potential play-in team in the Eastern Conference. They've got established players. I said this in my East predictions. They've got established players who have been through big games and got rings, like Pascal Siakam, who's a star. Fred VanVleet, who just signed a big contract, 20 point per game type of guy. But they also got interesting young talent to watch for at the same time. OG Anunoby, who's still young, and he's been through the experience, so that's a plus. Scotty Barnes, as I said, rookie. And you also got Precious Achiuwa, who they acquired from the Miami deal with Kyle Lowry. So they got nice young players. And they also got, nice young vets, or nice young players, and then the vets obviously going to kick in. But they've got a really interesting team to watch. And, Toronto in my prediction video wasn't in the playoffs or the play-in. But it's not like I had Toronto as a 14th seed, top 3 pick type of team. I had them barely missing the cut by like 1 ranking. I had them 11th in the East and Charlotte 10th. But like I said about Minnesota, injuries can kick in, and next thing you know, things can change. And if injuries kick in, or if Toronto just ends up starting out hot or finishing hot, Toronto can very much sneak their way into the postseason, especially if Siakam and VanVleet have comeback seasons this year. Because last year, Toronto did not have things go their way. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, link in the description. This has been The Checkup, where we talk hoops and hoops only. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.